First, let me apologize for the wind noise. I can't control that very well. But we are officially at the start, or at least everything that I've researched says this is the official start of the Mojave Road. We are giving ourselves 2 nights, 3 days to cover the Mojave Road. We're getting very late start. It's almost 3 p.m. So I don't think we're gonna get very far today before dark, but we're gonna do our best. And I am pumped. There is so much history on this road. I mean, this is an iconic overlander's route. And so I'm pumped. We're aired down and we're gonna take off that way. Honestly, the beginning of this is a little anticlimactic because I don't know why. I thought there might be like a sign back there, like Mojave Road, you know, some you know, a kiosk, some sort of information center about the Mojave Road, but there wasn't. But the Colorado River is beautiful. We do hop on just a short stretch of pavement here, and we're actually in Nevada right now. We're in the very tiny little point corner of Nevada is where we are. Oh look, there's the first campsite for the Mojave Road. But it will not be long before we're in California, and then in the Mojave Preserve. Sadly, my drone is packed and put away because I won't need it for the next 3 days. Because Mojave Preserve, it's a national park. Oh well. I wonder how many Frenchies have done the Mojave Road. I am genuinely curious how long it's going to take us. Like I said, we've allowed ourselves 2 nights, 3-ish, 2.5-ish days to do this. The Mojave Road is 147-ish miles long, and I don't know if this is going to be, you know, fast desert driving, if it's going to be slow. I don't know. We will see, but I'm really curious to know if we're going to get it done fast, if it's going to take longer than we think. I'm excited to find out. Oh, highway. Where do we go from here? Oh, down there. Wasn't expecting the highway to be here. I was doing some research on the Mojave Road and didn't realize that it dates back to the 1700s, and probably even before that, as the Mojave Trail, used by the Mojave Indians and Native Americans to go from water hole to water hole out here in the Mojave Desert. Well, there's some campsites right off the bat. I don't think I'd want to camp out here next to the highway. I think there's campsites galore on this thing. So I don't know. A ton of history. We're gonna go see what we can find, and this is gonna be great. All right, well, I had a waypoint from Overlander that said granite spring and petroglyphs. So we pulled over here. It also make for an epic campsite here. Yeah, there's some petroglyphs right there. Right there. Some little
there,
squiggly. How they get up there? I think aliens.
Oh wow, way up there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, how are they getting up there to draw what looks like a football field? That's a football field.
Oh. I don't know if there's any more.
I don't know. Well, there's supposed to be a spring through here, but I'm not so sure about that. Huh. I don't see any more. Beautiful spot though. Well, we found petroglyphs. We didn't find a spring. I can definitely see this being a neat wash runoff, but no spring. But if it was later in the day, this would be a sweet campsite. Well, we looked up and there's a few more. Let's see if I can, right there-ish. But how do they get up there to do that? You can't climb up that. You can't climb down that and stand there. I don't understand. Well, right now, I have way more questions than answers. I need to know. If you saw my videos on the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail and redoing all those 5 days, and I was excited because Gaia GPS has put the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail into the Gaia Overland layer. So it's just there. It's on the map for you to follow. Well, the Mojave Road is also baked in to the Gaia Overland layer. So that's what we're following. I've also got Kara's route that she did last year, and I've got all of her waypoints. So I've got both, and that's how we're navigating our way through the Mojave Road. The one downside to the current routes that Gaia has on their overland layer is there's no waypoints to go with them. It's just the route. So there are other resources out there to, to find the campsites and all the points of interest out here, like the mailbox and the what's the big pile of rocks thing? Is that the mailbox? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But there's a lot of other resources to find all those points of interest and campsites that are already marked and that sort of stuff out here. But I've got Kara's, so I'm good. But yay for Gaia for having it baked in to the overland layer. Now we're about to cross the California state line. And welcome to California. Looks the same as Nevada. Wait, is this ticket? Maybe this ticket though. Nope. I just hope the liberal doesn't rub off on me out here in the desert. Oh wow, what's this? That looks fun. Whoa, whoa, that was big. Well, we've been on this very rough and rocky road for what feels like forever now. We are almost to the Mojave Preserve. Right, so far we've just been in Beetle Inland. And we're going to take an offshoot up here that basically goes behind that little volcanic looking hill over there. And there's some sort of old fort back there, and we're going to go check it out. And I gotta stop doing these east-west trails in the evenings, because this traveling west is painful when the sun goes down, and it's just in my face non-stop. I don't like it. I need to pick more north and south trails. Well, we did stop to let a little more air out of the tires. Went from, I think I was at 19 psi, now I'm at 16 psi. And I dialed my adjustable shocks back 3 clicks, and it seems to have helped dramatically. Rod did get a report about a wind advisory in this area for, I think, the next 24 hours or something, so that should be fun. All right, we made it out here to the remnants of this old fort. I think it's Fort Paiute. There is a Paiute spring here that is providing water to all that vegetation down there. But I'm gonna go check out the ruins here. Well, Fort Paiute, built to last. About that. I don't think it lasted. I think just the foundation lasted. Built in late 1800s, 1930s. 18 soldiers stationed here. Military escort for the mail route. Wow. Man, these are some thick walls. Old fireplace there. What you think, Milo? Huh? There's some other. I don't. This just looks like stacked rocks, not actual rock walls built up for a building. So I'm not sure, but it's cool. Apparently the original Mojave Road went through there, but was abandoned and actually now goes around this mountain. But it used to go right through there. Well, that was fun. We spent some time talking to the folks down there with the beautiful 93 Defender and the Tacoma with the 4-wheel camper. Looks like maybe a Project M on the back. Very nice folks. They are on the back side of the Mojave, so they'll be finishing it up tomorrow. They're coming the other direction. But we're gonna press on. The sun is getting low. I think we've got maybe an hour of daylight left. We're gonna try to get around this mountain and find camp on the other side of it. Not sure if we'll make it there by dark, but we'll see. The views here are incredible. We were actually considering camping here at the ruins, but didn't want to invade their space. All right, we're gonna see how fast we can get around this mountain. We got about 5 miles to get to where I think we'll find some good places to camp. So let's see how long it takes us to get there. Maybe we can make it there before dark. am loving the light output of these diode dynamic lights. I don't think we're gonna make it before dark. Well, this section's pretty fun. Just wish I could see everything. All right, well, we found what we think is an epic camp overlooking an incredible bluff line ravine thing through here. We won't know until in the morning. But it is stupid windy. Like unfortunate windy. I suspect this will be another night of us retreating to our tents early just to escape the wind. So priority now is to feed the dogs, set up camp, and get my own dinner. All right, step one complete. Dogs are eating. I love the fact that the tent fabric on the Intrepid is so tight, it doesn't shake around in the wind. That's a win. I don't think I'm cooking anything tonight. It's a great night for charcuterie. And some different cheeses. And some crackers, and some of this. That'll do. Well, it is so just ridiculously windy outside that Rob and I have retreated to our tents. No, ma'am. I knew I needed to do some work on video 4 of the Ozark Overland Adventure Trail. So if you watch that video, I started editing it on this trip. So, I mean, it's 7 o'clock. This is pitiful. I was hoping to be able to do it outside, under the stars, but let's do the tent. And sorry for the whole, looks like you're in an earthquake. I hung the camera up, but the wind is shaking things around decently. So, anyway, I'm gonna get to work. Oh. Wow. That was unexpected. Well, you didn't waste any time.
No, I've been up, man. Couldn't sleep. I think 11 hours in the camper was enough.
That was wild.
Yeah, the wind. I don't know how you slept, but
Not great.
yeah. My watch said I got about 5 hours, and I was like interrupted like 35 times during that 5 hours.
Yeah, at some point I didn't know if I was in a tornado or an earthquake.
Yeah. Not the best night's sleep, but the views don't suck.
Wow, this is crazy. I did not expect this canyon to be right here in the Mojave Road area. This is beautiful. How long did you say this windstorm was supposed to last?
I mean, all day is what the warning thing said, and I looked at the weather, and it was showing 25-mile-an-hour winds pretty much all day into like tomorrow morning.
Well, hopefully we can find some place to camp that is a little sheltered from the wind.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I could use a better night's sleep for sure.
Well, we're off. And I apologize now because any audio outside of the Jeep is going to be complete garbage.
On a positive note, it keeps the dust out of the way.
Well, that is true. But it also gets sand in my teeth when we're at camp. So it's kind of, you know, take the good with the bad, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, it's improving the teeth brushing, makes it just a little bit that much better.
I'm super pumped to see what we're gonna find today. I was really surprised to learn that the Mojave Road, or back then the Mojave Trail, dates back to the 1700s, and probably even before that, as this was a Native American trail that they would use to get from water hole to water hole. And then in the mid to late 1800s, it became an official road, and Congress did whatever they do, and it became, they built a road primarily for the military to get from Los Angeles to Fort Mojave in Arizona, but it also became, you know, the key connector point back then to go from Arizona to Southern California. So there's just a ton of history on this road, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got several miles just cruising across this plateau, and then we get into some more of the mountainous areas. I have no idea what I'm going to find. No clue. I love driving through these Joshua trees. They're just so unique and just kind of looks like Dr. Seuss created them. I think a Joshua tree would definitely be a Dr. Seuss kind of tree. And it's really sad to be driving through this section with all the burnt Joshua trees. This is from the York fire just back in 2023, so less than 2 years ago. Sad. Mojave Road pretty much bisects the Mojave Preserve east to west, but there are a massive amount of trails that crisscross the preserve. Just a ton. So if you've got the time to spend in this area, I mean, don't just zip down the Mojave Road, which is exactly what we're doing because we do have a deadline. But spend some time out here. I spent some time in different areas of the preserve last year, but I think we only crossed the Mojave Road. We never spent any time on it. So I've seen some of the other parts of the Mojave Preserve, and it is absolutely fantastic. There's so many opportunities to explore, all kinds of history, petroglyphs in places, caves in places, or lava tubes. There's a lot here, and it is definitely worth your time to spend some time in the Mojave Preserve. We were driving along and saw this cabin in the distance. No signage or any history markers here, so no clue what this was. A little bit of a fixer-upper, needs a new roof. Let's see what kind of amenities we have on the inside. Broken bed frames, pile of box springs, big pile of box springs. I think the stove has seen better days. Oh, no clue what this building was for. Definitely looks like some sort of house. Oh, there's the fireplace out back. Odd place for the fireplace, considering the rest of the house doesn't surround it. Huh. I wish there was a sign or something that said what this used to be. That's really cool. Can't imagine living out here in the summertime. That would be brutal. Tons of cactus everywhere. But I love the design of it. Very rustic. Well, once again, we turned a corner and now we're out of the Joshua trees and all the big Ocotillo cactus, and now we're just cruising through the more open desert. Oh wow. Okay. This is getting a little more interesting. Well, that was fun. The sketchiest part of that was actually trying to set up the camera, because walking on that hillside was basically like walking on BBs. I almost busted my butt once. It was very difficult to find traction with the feet. Well, this is cool. A little different than up on the higher portion of the plateau. Right after we got off that little trail, there's a spot with a restroom and another cabin up here to check out. A little picnic table. Apparently this is the start of some hiking trail going down into the canyon. Wow, apparently there's a nice spring down there. That'd be cool to go see, but not today. This is the rock house. Wow. A dude who's in World War I, exposed to poison gases with scarred lungs, came out here to get away. That's crazy. A desperate attempt to regain his health. Yeah, lived for another 25 years later out here. Oh wow, this is... They got furniture and everything in here.
Some kind of rats or mice or something.
Yeah, definitely.
That's for sure.
Milo, Izzy, come on. Oh, nice little cabin. And what a view off the porch. That's beautiful. Well, after the Rock Spring cabin, looks like you hop on the Mojave Superhighway for just a little while. That apparently was partially paved at some point. Interesting. Washboards suck. Ugh, that's so bad. I don't know how well it's coming through on camera, but looks like this is the road we take for a little while. It just goes all the way out there in the distance. Man, it just looks so vast out here. Some sort of sand dunes in the distance. I'm not sure what those are. But this open area is just incredible. Well, we just crossed over a major highway that goes north and south through the preserve. And as soon as you cross the highway, the road changes back to the Mojave 2 track. We're just going to take this all the way in the distance. It's so crazy.
Just remember this, because it was not that fun in the camper.
Well, apparently this section of trail is just a whole bunch of whoops. Whee! At least they're all pretty uniform.
In a long travel IFS vehicle, this would be a blast.
Yes, it would. You can do a lot more than 15 miles an hour. Just cruising down the Mojave Road, The whoops have gotten a little less, still some here and there, but not like they were. But it's real beautiful out here. I think this is kind of the section where there's not a lot of history on it, not a lot of places to stop. That's a cool place to camp. Wow, that would be awesome. Well, it looks like we're back in the lane of the Joshua trees. Whoa, that was deep. That drop off came all of a sudden. Well, it's 11 a.m. and from a mileage standpoint, we're halfway through the Mojave.
Okay, we're moving pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't know if it slows down on the western side. Honestly, there hasn't been as many places to stop as I thought there would be.
Yeah, I wasn't really paying attention last time I did it. I mean, I was just following along in a group, so we just stopped where we stopped. I didn't really, like, kind of see, like, how far apart stuff was. I mean, I know somewhere up here there's, like, a mailbox or something. I thought that was somewhere along this area, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's somewhere along here. Plus, there's some big pile of rocks.
Big pile of rocks is out on Soda Lake.
Well, it looks like we have made it to the mailbox. And it got really rough here too. Is there anything in it? Oh, yeah, random stuff. Water bottle, little notebooks. Trying to keep the United States flag in proper condition. Oh, that's cool. I Snoop on there. Oh, put Snoop back in. So does this have any historical significance or just something someone in the desert did?
It probably has some significance. I'm the wrong guy to ask. I'm not the history guy. I'm also not the geology guy, in case anybody's wondering.
Apparently just past the mailbox is the frog shrine. You know, because reasons. Frog. I bet there's not a frog that lives out here. We got a frog crossing. There's some cool frogs in here. If I'd known this was here, I would have brought a frog. Alright, well that was cool and random. Desert people do weird things. It's just someone decided to put a frog there one day and everybody else decided to do it too. Well, I mentioned earlier about going out and exploring the preserve, and also mentioned that I have Kara's tracks that they did last year. Well, I was looking, and here in just a little bit we're gonna intersect another road, and it looks like from there they just started zigzagging everywhere, deviating off the actual Mojave Road. And I looked, they put 244 miles in the preserve, and I definitely don't have the fuel for that. So I have just enough to get us off. Not a lot of extra fuel to wander. So, but I know they had a blast. Well, we stopped here at the Lava Rocks for lunch. We are entering the area of the Mojave Preserve that there are lava fields and lava tubes. And it's very different than where we've been. Little chicken salad for lunch. That's real good. Oh no! The wind is dying down, but it's still there. Not near as bad as it was last night and this morning. Maybe because we're traveling further west. I don't know, but I'll take it. Apparently we're right on the edge of the lava fields. They just go on and on that way. That was a great little spot for lunch. Love the variety out here. I'm anxious to see what we're gonna find heading in this direction. We are currently paralleling a highway, and I think here in a few miles we're gonna intersect it. And just to play it safe, give us a little more freedom to explore, I think we may hop on the highway and drive to a little town called Baker, top off with gas, and then come back. I definitely would like the freedom to go explore and wander a little bit. The stark contrast of where the lava field ends is crazy. Multiple campsites along the lava wall as well. That's way cool. I think since we've decided that we're gonna go get gas, I mean, Rob doesn't need any, he's got the diesel, but I just want to play it safe. We're gonna turn off here and take a trail that goes into the lava field and go see what that's like. Apparently there are a ton of places to camp along this section, tucked up in here to the lava flow. Wow, this is way cool, and it looks like there's someone down here.
Got an RV back in there.
Yeah, definitely wasn't expecting that.
No.
But what an incredible campsite.
Amazing where people will take those things.
Hey, this is an incredible campsite. Wow.
Yeah, it is. This is a great campsite. No wonder they're here.
All right, well, let's turn around here. Man, that is primo. we did run down the highway. It took about 30 minutes to get there and back. But now I got a full tank of gas and peace of mind to just be able to go, and if we want to get off trail, I mean not off trail, we want to go explore off the Mojave Road route, we can play. In the distance, you can make out the Soda Lake dry lake bed. I love driving on dry lake beds. Somewhere out there is the big rock pile thing, so we're definitely going to find it. But the goal, assuming that the wind kind of stays like it is now, it's still windy, but it's not stupid windy like it was last night. So assuming the wind doesn't get any worse, the plan is to get to camp well before dark and hopefully just be able to enjoy camp. I think if we pushed it, we could be off the Mojave Road today, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to push it. I mean, we've made, I think, really good time. I've definitely gone faster than I thought we would. But from this point on, I kind of want to just be able to take my time and see what's out here. On the other side of Soda Lake, it does change from being in the Mojave Preserve to being on BLM land. So we may actually camp on BLM land tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We're just kind of winging it. Well, we've reached the beginning of the Soda Lake dry lake bed, and this is not at all what I expected. I guess this isn't a free-for-all. You gotta stay on this road through here. I'm used to dry lake beds where you can just drive wherever you want to. Well, according to Rob, all this white crusty layer on top is salt. Kinda wanna get out and take a lick, but I'm not. Well, here is the famous Mojave Road rock pile. You know, because desert reasons. If you walk up it, does it desecrate the rock pile? Isn't there something that you're supposed to bring a rock and leave it or something?
Yeah. And in the center, I think there's a thing down there.
Oh, there sure is. There is a thing. On this side in 1897, nothing happened. Awesome. We do have some little decorative rocks. I don't know what that is. There's a little painted rock. That's from the Current River in Missouri. Should have brought a Buffalo River rock. Alright, well, since we're here, curiosity has got the best of me. Yeah. Is it salt? Indeed it is. Yep. That's salt. That's wild. Just layers of kosher salt right here. Now the question is, why is this covered in salt? Wow. Like, that was a thick piece of salt. I could have just scraped the top off of that thing, taken it home, ground it up, and flavored my food with it. If you can wash it. That was just legit salt. Alright. Just around this corner, Soda Lake ends. The Mojave Preserve ends. And BLM land begins. We are officially on BLM land now, outside of the national park. Well, now we're in little sand dunes. Where'd these come from? There's just so much variety on this thing. Okay, so far, this sand dune area is my favorite spot on the Mojave Road. This is awesome. It's fun. There's mountains around us. Yeah, I like this a lot. I think we have a plan. It's almost 3 o'clock. There is a canyon that we will drive through here. I don't know, maybe another 10 miles-ish or so. I think we're gonna try to find a spot to camp in the canyon. Be a little guarded from the wind, maybe. That's our plan. Our other plan that we considered is complete the Mojave Road and then maybe go find camp in Johnson Valley, but I think Johnson Valley would leave us more exposed. So if we don't find anything in the canyon, that's probably what we're gonna do. So we'll see how this goes, but right now that's the plan. Whee! Well, this is cool. here and Danielle turned this way to go explore something over here. Let's go see what. Got 1, 2, 3, 4 grave markers here. Very interesting and very random. RLH. What does that say? T-Bone Albright. 1939.
T-Bone and his wife.
Oh.
See wife right there, arrow?
Yep. Huh. Does this say anything? Roland Humston. Well, this person died in 2008.
Yeah, this one looks like it was 2011.
What?
So,
These aren't historic artifacts. I mean, at least one of these is older.
This one?
Yeah. I mean, I assume 1939 is the death date.
Yeah. Okay. The one old one. That's the one, the nice one.
Yeah. Huh. This one though. How'd you read this? Is that some unmarked or is that a fire ring?
No, this is another marker.
Really?
Yeah.
People are just dying to get up here.
This one was pretty recent. This was 2023.
Wow. Who is just randomly bringing their people out here to bury? William John Lynch. Interesting. Killer views up here. It's interesting that there's just this little bitty tiny little stream and the water is flowing. It does make me wonder what this is like after some heavy rains. Well, those definitely aren't Ozark water crossings. And apparently, you know, the end of the Mojave Road does have the big famous water crossing, which apparently isn't as big a deal as it used to be. Rumor has it that it's been filled in some by the BLM, I think. Well, as Rob indicated up at those little graves, we are in Spooky Canyon. It's a very cool canyon. I do like it. I don't know why it's spooky. Well, now we're just kind of wandering around slowly through Spooky Canyon, looking for a place to camp. We do see little trails here and there, but they've all got road closed signs on them. So that's a bummer. Right now we're not having a whole lot of luck. I mean, we could just pull over anywhere, I guess. That one's closed, that one's closed. Well, we just turned on a little offshoot trail and found this massive place to camp. There is a fire ring here, but kind of tucked into, I don't know, I don't know what that's called. It's not sandstone. Mud cliffs. Kind of reminds me of Anza-Borrego and the Anza-Borrego mud cliffs. But it's kind of cool. May have to get the drone out and go see what's back there. But yeah, I think we found camp. It's 3:40. Got a couple hours of daylight left. It's gonna be good. Well, the sun is pretty much set. There's still a little bit of light, still quite beautiful. This is such a radically different night than last night and this morning. I'm so looking forward to going to bed tonight and getting a good night's sleep without feeling like I'm in a tornado. Let's see. Puppers have eaten. And it's time for me to eat, and then we're just gonna relax and chill tonight. No hurry to do anything. So, yay for that. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can't have this. Tastes good too.
I don't have anything. I'm done.
Well, good morning from the very beautiful Mojave Desert in Southern California. We are at almost at the end of the Mojave Road. This will be the third day. Second night was last night on the Mojave Road. And so our plan today is to finish the Mojave, go into Barstow, where we need to, resupply, take care of some personal items. Love to just wash some of the dust off and some of the dirt off the outside of the Jeep, and those sort of things. And then I'm not completely sure where we're going after that. So I think that's something we're gonna nail down while we're eating lunch in Barstow. So if you want to find out what the plan is today, then stick around and come join along with us. Whatever it is, I know it's going to be beautiful. I know it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we are off. We've got 15 to 20 miles left of the Mojave Road out of the 147 that it is. And to be honest with you, this last probably 40 miles has been my favorite. There's been some little pockets here and there that I've enjoyed, but overall, these last 40 miles have been the best. Great way to end the Mojave is, well, if you're running it from east to west. We started at the Colorado River, so if you're running east to west, ending with the best parts of the trail, I think, is the way to go. I know we've got to finish this canyon, which I very much enjoy, and we've still got the water crossing, the famous Mojave Road water crossing. I don't think it's too far away, so we'll see what we can find on the remainder of the Mojave. And this mighty body of water that you see before us is the Mojave River. Like, this is it. Something tells me there's not any fish in the Mojave River, so I wouldn't come here planning to catch dinner. The crazy thing is, even though that looks like just pools of stagnant water, the Mojave River is actually flowing. You can see the ripples. It is moving, which is odd considering how low it is. And two, camp where we were, basically by the train tracks, quite a bit of activity on these train tracks. But those have got to be the quietest trains I've ever heard. Like, they weren't loud. They were just very, very, very nice trains. Very good trains. Curious what we've got here. Okay.
Hey, well, here's the water crossing.
Awesome. I've been looking forward to this. Where? Okay, surely that's not it. By water crossing, do you mean this puddle?
What the heck? It's not even there anymore.
Oh. This is
Interesting.
This is my disappointed face. Dang. That's so lame. Well, I mean, coming from the Ozarks and the water crossings we've had recently, I didn't expect it to be like that, but I expected better than that. At least I hoped for better than that. I mean, I get it. It's what are we? We're at the end of February. Today is the last day of February, so it's dry. It's dry season. I'm sure in the springtime it's much deeper. This is the water crossing that I've seen. This looks much better.
Yeah.
it's possible that I made a wrong turn flying the drone. Possible. It looked real pretty from the drone. I've gotten very used to those whoops on the Mojave Road. There's a lot of them. There's a whole lot of up and down and up and down. I don't know that I would recommend the Mojave Road if you have a passenger that's prone to car sickness, because I think that up and down would probably make them lose their lunch. This section of trail is not the greatest. It's just nothing but washboards. Oh, a little reprieve. Remember what I said earlier about the end of the Mojave Road being my favorite? I take some of that back. We've got about 5 miles left on the Mojave Road. So let me give you my rating for the Mojave. Technical 3 at best. We did one optional line that was flexy, but technical rating a 3. Enjoyment level, just overall on the trail, I'd give it a 5. Definitely a 5. It's one that I think if you're out here and you can, I definitely think everybody should do the Mojave Road. It's iconic, it's historical, it's all those things, but it's not the most enjoyable 3 days or 2 nights I've spent on a trail system. It's just a whole lot of rough washboard roads through, honestly, some not so great scenery in some places. So that kind of ruins it. And ruins is not the right word. It didn't live up to my expectation. Now, the Mojave Preserve. We did different parts of the Mojave Preserve last year that were better. I think the Mojave Preserve is an awesome place to go and explore, because there's so much in there. There's so much variety in there. I mean, you could probably spend 4 or 5 days just exploring the Mojave Preserve. The Mojave Road is not the best part of the Mojave Preserve. So if you're going to do the Mojave Road, maybe even give yourself 3 nights and use that as a launching pad to go out into different areas of the preserve, because that's where the really good stuff is. If you're just going to stick to the Mojave Road, it's a 5 out of 10. It's a one and done. Definitely do it once, but I'll never do the Mojave Road again. I will go back to the preserve again, but I will not do the Mojave Road again. These washboards sure don't faze them. Well, we made it to the highway. We have officially completed the Mojave Road. I don't want to do it again. Mojave Preserve, yes. Mojave Road, no. There's better places in the preserve than the Mojave Road. Agreed?
Yeah. neat thing to do, and I guess it's one of those like Overland bucket list things.
It is.
But yeah, doing it once is good enough. Now this is my 2nd time, and that's probably good.
One too many. But so we're gonna air back up and then head into Barstow and do city things there for just a little bit before, and also figure out where we're going from here. Well, we got all of our city things done. Some supplies topped off. Got the pups some new toys. because they kind of chewed up the other ones and they fight over them. So I got 2 of the exact same toy, which I'm sure will alleviate all conflict, right? Because look, Izzy, you have your own. See, there you go. There you go. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. We got lunch and made a plan. So we are headed about 40 miles south to Rattlesnake Canyon. Rob's done it before. I have not. And then we're gonna camp somewhere off the end of that in the BLM land. So that's the plan. And then tomorrow we'll leave there. That'll dump us out basically at Joshua Tree. And tomorrow we'll go through Joshua Tree, continuing south to get back to our wives. So that's the plan. I think it's gonna be a good one. Man, what an incredible area. To the left is Johnson Valley, OHV, home of King of the Hammers. Tons of camping and off-roading and all the things out there. And in front of us is Big Bear. Tons of off-roading through there, much higher elevations, just surrounded by epic wheeling opportunities. Alrighty, let's go have some fun.
Like fun.
But first, we need to air down. All right, let's head to Rattlesnake Canyon. It is somewhere in those mountains. Are you ready, Is? Are you ready for Rattlesnake Canyon? Just don't find any rattlesnakes, okay? I'm super pumped. I've been wanting to do Rattlesnake Canyon for a while now. Just after looking at it on a map, the canyon just looks really interesting. Technical rating for Rattlesnake, I think, is 3 or 4, so nothing major. There is an offshoot canyon toward the end of Rattlesnake that I think we may give a look to. Just kind of based on what, how long it takes us and kind of how we're feeling. But it's rated a 9 out of 10, and not sure if I really want to tackle that with the pups. Sounds like a lot of fun though. I do think that 9 out of 10 was on a Wrangler on 35s. So I don't know. We will see what happens when we get there. But I'm super pumped about Rattlesnake Canyon. Okay, it's kind of funny. There's a domestic livestock sign, and look, there's the domestic livestock. They're just right here by the sign, right where they're supposed to be. Isn't all livestock, by the nature of it being livestock, domestic? Isn't that redundant? Here is the entrance to Rattlesnake Canyon. I'm curious how long this will take us. It's about 14 miles. So we'll see. Well, so far, Rattlesnake Canyon is just a beautiful drive through the wash amongst the rocks and the Joshua trees. It's quite beautiful down in here. All of a sudden, the rocks and the cliffs changed from that sandstone rock to, what is this, granite? Not sure, something very different. Okay. All right, now we're getting some fun stuff. Well, this trail is, I mean, it's not difficult, but it's just fun. Very easy rocks. Be a good trail for a stock four-wheel drive, high clearance Jeep, Tacoma, Wrangler Gladiator, 4Runner, Nissan Frontier, etc. It'd be a lot of fun. It's just so beautiful through here. I don't know if I've said that before, but it is. Well, we're almost to that alternate trail. That's the heavy rock crawling 9 out of 10 rating, and it's 3:45. I think we're just gonna drive on by, because it's a 2-mile trail, but they say it could take like 5 to 7 hours because it's just rock garden after rock garden after rock garden, and that would put us to camp well after dark. So, and this is not a rock crawling trip, so I'm okay with that. I'm gonna mark that on the list to come back to another day. And most importantly, we are both mindful that tomorrow we have to return to our wives, and on Sunday we have to start driving home. So I can't afford to risk, you know, I can't put myself at a higher rate of risk of breaking something on trail. Well, there it is. There's the entrance to Matino Wash. I'll come back. Don't go anywhere. Man, now it's kind of opened up, and in the Joshua trees and some pine trees. Just past the entrance to the alternate trail, we've got, I don't know, maybe half a mile to go to get to the entrance to our camp goal for the evening. So we're doing great on time. Concrete pad.
I'm good either way. I will take it if you don't want it.
Well, welcome to camp. We did stay here last year in October. We were chasing our wives around the Rebel Rally, and it was one of my favorite places that we camped. And since we were just basically going to be driving right by, I thought, let's stay here again. It does have an old concrete pad here for some structure that used to be here. I decided to let Rob have the pad. That way he could be a little bit spoiled. But me and the pups have a great location here. The views across this Joshua Tree forest are just unreal. Love this spot. And no one's out here. And look at this. We got this whole area to ourselves. And it's a Friday. Spotted some of the local wildlife. Well, with the clouds and the haze that we could see, I thought we might have a beautiful sunset tonight, but appears to have been a bust. Hopefully, dinner is not a bust. In honor of this being our last night camping on this trip, got a couple fillets at the store, and I'll cook those up, along with my very special mashed potatoes.
Very good.
Is it well done enough?
Yep, it's good enough. It's
Okay.
like medium.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Well, good morning. It is very cloudy today. I wasn't expecting this. It was the coldest night so far. Last night, it got down to 40 degrees, but the humidity was higher, and everything just felt colder. But we had plenty of blankets and snuggled up, me and the pups, and we were warm and cozy in there. So that was a yay. We are going to head out of here. And a beautiful trail through the Joshua trees and then some rock formations. I think we may try to find breakfast or brunch since it is Saturday in a little town called Yucca Valley. And then we're going to take some trails through Joshua Tree National Park. So that's the plan. Looking forward to today. I've never been in Joshua Tree. I'm curious if the Joshua trees in Joshua Tree are better than the Joshua trees here. Because this Joshua Tree forest is unreal. So we're gonna go find out. Driving through this Joshua Tree forest is one of my favorite things ever. They're just so alien-like, and they're just so cool, and there's just so many of them here. I love this area. And there's so many trails out here. Definitely got to come out here in the future and just explore more of this area. When people ask me what's my favorite state or favorite area, what's my favorite place to go, my answer is always the place I haven't been, and that's accurate. But on this trip, I mean, we've been through Arizona, we've been through California, and they're just so good and they're just so different, and I don't know if I can pick a favorite. Utah's amazing, Colorado's amazing, Idaho's amazing, Oregon's amazing, Washington's amazing, Arkansas's amazing, Kentucky's amazing. So I'm curious, what of the places you've been, what's your favorite and why? And I'm sure you've been places that I haven't been before, because we have not spent a lot of time out east. So especially if you're an East Coaster, what's your favorite place? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious. I have a really hard time nailing that down. All right, back on pavement. I don't think we're gonna bother airing up. We don't have but maybe 20 miles, I'm guessing, maybe 20 miles of pavement to do before hitting dirt again. So, I'm not gonna bother that. Priority now is, what is it, 9:15, breakfast. Finding a place for breakfast in Yucca Valley. Just did a little Google search. I think there's a couple good options there. Well, going for something different this morning. Lox and bagels. Oh, we got full bellies. That bagel and lox was really good. Now we're off to Joshua Tree. We made it into the park, and these trips, I always lose track of what day it is. I forget that today's Saturday, and it's busy. I mean, it's a beautiful day. We are down about 2,000 feet in elevation from where camp was, and it's quite a bit hotter. I need to change into my short sleeve shirt. But it is a beautiful day for hiking and stuff, and it looks like that's what a lot of people are doing. We are not going to be hiking. I was very quickly reminded that the pups are not allowed on hiking trails, so no hiking for us. Well, my initial impression of Joshua Tree on this pretty little pavement drive through it. It is beautiful. I love the Joshua trees and the rocks and the mountains. It is quite beautiful. I do find the Joshua trees themselves a little lacking. I do think the Joshua trees were larger and prettier where we were this morning, where we were camping. So if you're just after Joshua trees, there are better Joshua trees than Joshua Tree National Park. But there are other things to do here than just stare at Joshua trees. So far, beautiful. All right, let's get off this pavement.
Copy that.
Four-wheel drive only. Sounds good. Proceed at your own risk. Warning, deep sand and rocks. Stranded Stranded drivers have died from heat exposure on park roads. It is not maintained or patrolled. Wow. Okay, this sounds fun. Let's go.
Alright, let's do it.
Where are you going? Well, heading down into this canyon looks interesting. We're approaching a waypoint on my route called Rock Garden. Anxious to see what that's like. Surely this isn't it. Okay, I mean, we got some little rocks. Okay. I like this little canyon a lot. It's called Berdo Canyon, I think. B-E-R-D-O-O, I think. It's a nice little canyon. The only thing it's missing is some mountain goats. Or some bighorn sheep. Somewhere up there. I love this canyon. It's freaking awesome. Well worth the drive through the park to get here. I mean, the park is beautiful. But this is great. we are almost out of the national park boundaries. Actually, I'm going to get this gate. Maybe the national park boundary. Not according to my map. But we're real close. Well, apparently we have exited the canyon at a place that's used for a shooting range. And considering this is California, I can tell you there are a lot of firearms out here that are not California compliant. Yay for freedom. Yep. No way that handgun's got less than 10 rounds. Not a chance.
When you come to shoot, I guess.
This is crazy. Yep. That was definitely a 30-round magazine that he was loading for his AR. That's funny. Yeah, that dude was definitely loading a 30-round AR magazine.
Good. Maybe they lifted the magazine ban. Actually, now that I think about it, there was something that happened, I think just recently here in California with the magazine ban, that may have taken it out of effect.
Well, that would be awesome. I bet hitting those bottles in the wind is incredibly challenging.
Yeah.
I don't want to hop out and shoot a few rounds.
You are?
No, I said I'd like to. I'm not going to.
No.
I mean, this whole area is nothing but shooting range out here.
Yeah, I love it.
That's awesome.
Probably making a mess of the land, but I guess it's like just treat it like the dump, and this is where you come to shoot.
Yeah, you can tell from the ground they're not picking up their brass.
Make a fortune out here coming and cleaning up after people.
Yeah, you probably could. All right, we made it to the highway. We are airing back up because we do have some miles to put on pavement to go reconnect with our wives. But I think to do that, we're gonna complete the loop that we started 6 days ago. And so we're gonna head back to where we exited the Imperial Sand Dunes. We're gonna enter there, drive back down the Sand Dune Highway, and get back that way. So that should be a lot of fun. It's a little bit windy now. That's basically Anza Borrego to the right. Apparently Anza Borrego is losing all of its sand. Well, we decided to take a little detour on our way to the dunes and stop by the Salton Sea. I am walking on a very crusty surface here. The Salton Sea is a famous water control disaster. I don't remember the full story, but basically I think the government tried to divert the Colorado River, form this lake bed. It didn't work out. And now, because of some reasons that I don't remember, it is saltier than the Pacific Ocean. And it stinks out here. Like rotten eggs stinks. This is definitely salt. Ooh, wow, I'm sinking in it. This is weird. Whoa.
Oh yeah, it is. It's kind of mushy.
Like, this is bizarre. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. What am I walking on?
It's very weird.
It's an alien landscape. Oh, look, there's deep tracks here. Maybe I don't want to go out there. Oh, this is wild. Okay, well, there's the Salton Sea. And weird alien
It's like walking on a
landscape.
sponge or something.
It is very much like walking on a sponge.
Yeah. And,
Okay.
yeah, definitely does not smell good.
Nope. All right, well, we've seen the Salton Sea.
Yeah, that's it. There it is.
Okay, let's go. Well, we made it to the sand dunes, got aired down, and there is a massive sandstorm going on. I can't imagine all the people out there on side-by-sides. Just
It's like all in my teeth and my eyes. I'm sure you're the same.
Yep. Yeah, I put my sunglasses on before I went out there and got my air down tools off. But yeah, it's gritty. Yeah, I can't imagine the people on side-by-sides just getting blasted by this stuff. Well, with the sandstorm, needless to say, there's not going to be any drone footage. And look at this. This is insane. All right, here we go. I do have all of my lights on because Kara did warn me that there was a lot of traffic. And that is confirmed. This is so much fun. I love driving on this sand highway. Currently doing 40 miles an hour. Whee! Oh my gosh, suspension's soaking it up. So much fun. You know, this thing being a big, fat, heavy Gladiator, I have really got to brag on the suspension. It is soaking it up. I'm not even bottoming out over these whoops. This is, ow! Okay, I just did bottom out. I hit that one hard. But, I mean, this is so much fun. And the Gladiator is doing amazing. Oh my gosh. All right, we made it back. I wonder where Kara is.
Yep, I see it now.
Where is she? Where's Boo? I don't see Boo. There's Boo. Oh, Boo's airing up. Hi, honey.
Hello. Hi, my baby boy.
Whoa.
Hi. Hi, my baby. What's he barking at me? Hi. Hi.
Since you're out there, are you gonna air me up?
I can.
I'm just kidding.
You want to pull up to the side of me? I could do it 2 at a time.
I got my own air
Well,
hose.
I mean, how will be that?
Did y'all have fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
Can't wait to talk to you about it.
I can't wait either.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it.
Hello!
Hi, cute dog. Goose? Yeah. Milo and Izzy.
Milo and Izzy, Goose is at home. All right, now I got a brave getting out there and airing back up. That's not gonna be fun. But, what a day today. What a day the last 2 days. Lots of fun. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this adventure. I have no clue what the next one's gonna be. If you would like, subscribe, check out the Patreon link in the description if you want to consider supporting the channel. And for all of our merchandise, go to shopoverlandapparel.com. I'm gonna go get a free microdermabrasion. See you next time. Bye.